what is the oldest stone church in all of Aotearoa, New Zealand, and gosh, she's a beauty, St Mary's in New Plymouth. This is the Taranaki Cathedral, and a little bit worse for wear, aren't we all? But some earthquake re-strengthening work. This project's been underway for quite some time, and leading this particular work is the Dean of the Taranaki Cathedral, Jay Ruka. He joins us on the program now. Jay, kia ora, so nice to see you again.
Tēnā koe, Andrew. Tēnā koutou, nā ka wakaronga, hoki. So yeah, nice to see you, bro.
Talk to us about the project, because this is quite a treasure, quite a taonga to be able to be responsible for the restoration of this beautiful stone building where people have been worshipping God for such a long period of time. Talk to us about the project more generally, Jay.
Yeah, kia ora, kia ora. So the St Mary's became a cathedral in 2010, and in that process, it was about, how does the space become forward-facing to the community in a much more meaningful way.
Yeah.
And then it was shut in 2016 because of the new earthquake laws post the Kaikoura earthquake. So essentially, it's never really got off the ground to be able to practice actually being that.
Yeah.
So it's shut in 2016, and in part of the process of going, man, what do we do? Does it come down? Really, the earthquake fast-tracked St Mary's dealing with its long history.
Yeah.
And part of the work of it becoming a cathedral, Sir Paul Reeves challenged St Mary's back in 2010, saying that the future of St Mary's is dealing with its past. Mm-hmm. Because it has been the narrative in New Zealand that says Christianity and colonization are like this. Mm-hmm. St Mary's is a bit of a poster child. like it's like, yep, okay, here's how that process happened. So like for me joining this work, I've only been here for 3 years, but when I first was offered the job, I was like, no way, I don't want to work for the church that shot my people. Yep. But that's all part of the working on this building as a metaphor is part of that healing of that history and the healing of that story.
So hopefully, prayerfully, to become a monument for reconciliation rather than a monument for colonization.
Look, exactly. So as someone who likes books, I showed up here 3 years ago and I've said this to our congregation, I'm like, give me the sledgehammer, I'm going to knock this sucker down, because of what it's represented. Now, there's also, there's a beautiful history within the Pākehā mind and the Pākehā world of church and amazing histories and amazing stories, but the overarching narrative of how that's been perceived by our people, that hasn't been a safe space. So I'm particularly one that's gone, let's get rid of this colonial behemoth. However, someone who likes old books, you never get rid of an old book, right? You never destroy an old book. So. Mm-hmm. So I see St Mary's as a beautiful old book on the shelf of New Plymouth, Taranaki, Ngā Motu Taranaki, to go, okay, here's this narrative, and we're writing a new chapter. So in a sense, on re-strengthening the cathedral is also the process of decolonizing the cathedral. So a remediated cathedral will mean a remediated relationship with iwi Māori, with Te Aotearoa, with Ngāti Tuiti Hapu. So yeah.
I mean, that is such a wonderful thing to be aiming for, and some people would say, well, it's almost an act of God that put you in this place, given the Kaikoura earthquake and needing to do the re-strengthening in the first place. So
for sure, bro. It was not my plan. It was wasn't what I saw for myself. But I've got to be honest. I'm pretty stunned that, okay, if the good Lord had told me this was the plan, I would have joned it out of here,
Hey, some good things been happening now. I know you've hit some hurdles recently, but just wanting to focus on some of the good things that are happening, because as well as the re-strengthening, a pretty stunning looking new building, a space for growing community and for restoring relationship and having kōrero together. Talk to us about that part of the project. I mean, this is quite an impressive piece of architecture, Jay.
Yeah, so what we call the cathedral project entails four things really. There's the strengthening of the cathedral, there's the building of Te Wari Onunga, which you're talking about.
Hmm.
There's the strengthening of the vicarage or the renovation of the vicarage, and then the fourth is the storytelling of the whole site.
Yeah.
So obviously, what got it off the ground was the need to strengthen the cathedral. However, the cost of that meant we didn't have all the money to be able to start there first.
Yeah.
We had all the funds to build what we called phase one, which was building Te Wari Onunga and renovating the vicarage.
Hmm.
So we started there. Now the beauty of that is that it's put the whole project in the right position
Yeah.
of being able to build Te Wari Onunga, which means the house that binds or the house that brings together. So working on that wari with Ngāti Te Witi, one of my hapu, our local hapu here in Ngā it means that we've been able to build something in partnership with mana whenua, the people of the land. That's actually been about reconciling the relationship. Now, I totally imagined that it would take us 5 years to get to where we are right now. When we opened that building, what's the date today? Oh, like the 10th of April. So we opened that building on the 13th of April last year. Since opening Te Wari Onunga, our people, when I say our people, iwi Māori, have been coming back to this site every week. Like the building has been filled, like it's getting used.
Yeah.
And I would have thought there would have been a 3-year dance of our people going, do you really want us to use this space? But like right from the first day, it's our people have been using it for kapahaka practice, training for Matatini regionals, running cultural competency wānanga, Pū Mau Mau with Takawai and Chris Murphy. So like it's been a spot that our people are wonderfully using. And that hasn't happened since war broke out in 1860.
Wow. That is such a wonderful thing. And a fantastic symbol as well. I mean, beautifully architecturally. It literally looks like it is woven together with different materials. And it looks pretty earthquake safe, just saying, Jay. I think
Yes,
they're going to take a good shake to take that one down, right?
Yeah, that's right. And what it means is that it's helped set the culture and the direction to strengthen a historical church.
Yeah.
Like none of us, as far as the leadership goes, is wanting to strengthen what we might joke as the Anglican club. We want a building that actually, because there's been military paraphernalia hung in that space. Since the 1870s, that's sort of glorifying, colonial armies that shot iwi Māori. So all of the, that space cannot reflect that in the future. It's got to reflect the story of two peoples. And so Te Wari Onunga has helped us give that direction.
Now, the cathedral itself, St Mary's, this is like every building project in New Zealand nationwide, and of course, very much the story in the Christchurch Cathedral at the moment. Costs have gone up, and there's perhaps some question marks on whether or not the entire project will be able to be completed in a timely manner, or, well, certainly not going to be completed within budget. Where are things at with that, Jay?
So where we're at is that we had a bit of a price costing last year that we're like, this is getting a bit too far up. So what we decided to do was to test the 10-meter part of the wall. Now, when we say test, is that the strengthening engineering needed for St Mary's has actually never been done in New Zealand before. Wow. So the cost was a best guess, so to speak. So what we decided to do is, well, let's test that. So we tested it, and in the 6 months it took to testing, we were hoping that we were going to be able to carry on building. Now, at the end of that test in February, we had a bit of a change in our circumstances, so a bit of a loan underwrite that was available to us was taken off the table for other reasons, which meant we couldn't faithfully sign the contract with our local building firm here, Cleland's. We couldn't faithfully say, hey, we've got this secured. So
Yep.
it just meant we had to delay it. So what that means is that puts us back, because Cleland's need to move on,
Yep.
with the rest of their work, and then the specialty stoneworkers, they need to move on with other work. So we're also at the mercy of the specialty stoneworks scheduling, which means we're probably looking for what we're hoping for is that we could start rebuilding again in 24 months.
Okay.
Now, that means that the price is probably going to go up even more. At the moment, we were 8.5 million short. Means it might go up even more, other than that. Now, the funny thing is that, myself as a dean, Bishop Philip Richardson as the bishop of the cathedral and of the diocese, for the last 3 years, we go, man, is it just to spend this amount of money on strengthening the building?
Yeah.
And each time we've gone to our iwi leaders, our iwi kaumātua, and go, guys, we're not sure. And our iwi have gone, nah, we're getting this done.
Yeah.
We're getting this thing strengthened. Like, to our shock and horror, like, oh, okay, these guys are more committed to it than what we are as the church leadership. So, and part of that is because of the history. It's because of the story and what it means and what it tells. So, yeah, what we've found is that essentially the majority of the funds that have come in, they've come in because of the vision of reconciliation.
Yes.
So we've raised 1.7 from our community and public money, 1.7 million. That's been the amount of money that's come in for the strengthening of a historical church. But by far, the majority of funding, organisations have wanted to give around the vision of reconciliation.
Wow.
So when it comes to strengthening the cathedral, we need to wrap around the vision of what we're creating here is that it's not the Anglican club. This whole site, which is the Māori name is Pukaka, the hill to which St. Mary's is built on. Yeah. Whole site we're turning it into what we call an educational site of excellence. So the building itself will teach the narrative of both colonisation and how to decolonise. Yeah. So that's what we'll fundraise around the narrative of.
Hey, this does sound still hope-filled, still some hope on the horizon.
It is. Yeah.
Of course, one big nasty earthquake could mean that your original dream gets fulfilled and God knocks it down. But we're certainly hoping that whatever happens next for your community and for St. Mary's, that this does become a wonderful testimony, a wonderful monument to reconciliation and healing in the community. Jay, very much appreciate the work that you do and for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you, Andrew. No, me.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.